Let us start then. Today again, what we'll discuss particularly the fragmentation of another class of molecule uh, in terms of EIMS. Okay. What we have discussed in the last class, if you remember, we covered the ketones, right? We have discussed the aliphatic chain, cyclic ketones, and aromatic type of ketones. Okay. Now today, what we'll do, we have also discussed a comparative problem. Today, what we do is we'll try to cover another class of molecule, that is ester. Okay, so here what we'll do is we'll try to discuss the short chain ester, long chain ester, aliphatic chain, and ester having aromatic ring. And also we'll try to do one problems so that you can understand how we can approach to the problem for solving with the help of EIMS. Okay, so fragmentation of ester, you have to know regarding that is the fragmentation is quite facile. So you have quite easy fragmentation, but it is usually possible to observe weak molecular peak. Okay, molecular ion generally be weak in the mass spectra of methyl ester. Means when you have ester having the alcoholic part. Okay, so ester you have two parts, right? You have one the acidic part, another is alcoholic part. So alcohol and acid combining making the ester. So the alcoholic part means the ether part, OR, that one. If the R is tiny, okay, like methyl, ethyl, small hydrocarbon, less number of carbon atom there. What we have is generally we'll observe the molecular ion peak, and the molecular ion peak will be not as big as what you have seen for some robust molecule. Now, when you have higher alcohols, what you see is that you'll see much weaker molecular ion peak. So your molecular ion peak will be much weaker. Got it? That is the major difference we'll be looking at. Esters of alcohols larger than 4 carbon may form molecular ion peaks that fragment too quickly to be observed. Getting. So that means what it is told here is that your alcoholic part, if it is too big, then you have much easier fragmentation of the molecular ion, and it will be difficult to find out the molecular ion peak. It will be too tiny. Okay. But smaller alcohols, you can detect the molecular ion. You will see the molecular ion peak. The most important fragmentation of ester is an alpha cleavage. So the major route of fragmentation is the alpha cleavage. That involves the loss of alkoxy group. Okay, so you have alkoxy group corresponding to the it is forming the acylium ion. Okay, so initially it will be R, C, double bond O. Here you have a plus charge, and this is stabilized, and you have RC, triple bond O, and a plus charge. Okay, so you have lone pair, so that will be. So this particular ion will be visible in the mass spectrum most of the cases. Now what we do is we'll discuss one molecule that will make the idea more clear. So here what you have methyl ester of butyric acid, right? So methyl butyrate, that is there. Now this molecule, you have after bombardment, definitely it will be dot plus formation. And this dot plus, generally you have here the lone pair on the oxygen. So that lone pair will be actually ejecting the non-bonding electron to generate this one. And then what you have, the fragmentation. Now the first is alpha cleavage. So you have cleavage here. So one part will be plus, another part will be dot. So you have plus here, dot here. And this 71, it is the acylium cation. So you have like this, right? So it will be stabilized, and it will make the, it will be stabilized, and it will make the triple bond. Okay. So the 71 peak you will be expecting, and you can have the opposite one too. This radical can form here. So acyl radical, and you have OMe plus. Okay, but this OMe plus is very, very unstable. Okay, so whatever peak, if you are getting the peak, that will be very tiny. Why this route will happen? Because this radical is quite stable. This radical is stable. You have dot here, lone pair, so it can make the triple bond, and you can have this kind of okay, dot plus formation. Okay, so that can happen here. This way, it can make dot plus. So that's why this route is possible, but since this 31 is very, very unstable, the peak will not be that much big. Now another route is the fragmentation to the opposite side. So the alpha cleavage will be in this side. Okay, so that will generate the propyl cation, and you have this radical, and this radical is stable, and propyl cation can quickly undergo hydride transfer. You have hydrogen here, so hydride transfer can happen, and it will generate the two position cation. Okay. Now this is stable. You have 6 here, 3, and here 3 hyperconjugable hydrogen. So that is very, very stable. And here radical is also stable because it is getting stability from both sides. You have lone pair of oxygen, both sides, so you can make the double bond here having a positive charge, dot plus on this oxygen. And if it is making a double bond here, it will generate a dot plus on this oxygen. Okay? So that type of stability is there. That's why this route is the most facile route. Okay, so most easiest route, you can tell, because your radical is very stable, and this 2-propyl cation, that is very, very stable. Okay, you can have the opposite also. The radical can be here, and cation can be here. And this cation also stable because you have lone pair. So this acylone type, acylium type cation. So that also you'll be observing. You have M by Z will be 59. So here M by Z is 43. Okay. Now, based on this fragmentation route, you can summarize and try to look at what will be the EIMS or the spectrum. Now here also you have another point. This particular molecule, you have hydrocarbon chain here. So this can undergo McLafferty rearrangement, because if you count from here 1, 2, 3, 4, and this methyl 5, you have hydrogen, so that's 6. So that means you have 6-member transition state. It can follow and undergo McLafferty rearrangement to produce this radical cation and this ethylene neutral molecule or the gas which can come out. So this route is also facile. Okay, so it is easier for this molecule to undergo fragmentation by McLafferty rearrangement here. So altogether, if you look at the mass spectrum, what you have here, the molecular ion 102 is tiny but visible. You have 74 here, which is coming from McLafferty. We have 71, which is the alpha cleavage, here 71. We have 59, this 59 is coming here, so this acylium cation. 43 is the base peak that you're finding here, 43, one of the, the most easiest fragmentation route. So these are some fragmentation routes of this particular molecule which are producing these specific peaks. Okay. So this way you can try to break down the molecule and find out the corresponding peaks in the mass spectrum which are expected to be projected. Now let us look at another molecule which is having more bigger chain. Okay, so you have here this propyl, here you have butyl, right? Now, can anybody tell whether this one will have bigger molecular ion peak with respect to the previous one or smaller? Molecular ion peak, if I consider, this molecule will show bigger or smaller molecular ion peak with respect to the previous one, methyl ester. Can you tell? Smaller, because you have bigger R here, alcoholic part, you have bigger R here, butyl, so it will undergo further fragmentation. Okay. Now this molecule, if you bombard with electrons, it will generate this dot plus, and this dot plus is mainly from the non-bonding electron here from the oxygen. Okay. And then it is undergoing alpha cleavage as usual, alpha cleavage. And this alpha cleavage will produce the 71. Now you look at that previous one, you had methyl, right? And now you have this butyl. So butoxy radical. Now butoxy radical will be more stable than methoxy radical. Okay, so according to stability, it will be more stable than methoxy. What can happen here is that this can abstract the hydrogen from its nearby suitable position. So if you take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so from 5 position, it can abstract the hydrogen, okay, and it can produce this CH2 radical, okay. Whereas in this case, if you look at what you find, if that, this 1,2 hydrogen abstraction, if it occurs also, what you have, this CH2. Okay. Generally, this 1,2 hydrogen abstraction will be difficult for this case. So here you have it can be folded and come closer and to undergo such kind of route. Okay, and that's why what you see is the fragmentation for this alpha cleavage route here will be much easier than the previous one, okay, the methoxy one. If it is much bigger, then it can also undergo fragmentation, but the minimum 4 electrons will be, 4 carbon centers. That hydrocarbon, if it is there, it will be more helping for the fragmentation. You can have opposite also. Here alpha cleavage can generate the O plus and this is dot, but this O plus is stability will be very poor. In that case, this 73 peak you will not see so easily. It will further undergo fragmentation and it will generate some other peak. Okay, so it will generate some other peak. This radical is stable, that's why you may have this 73 peak. Here also, if you break from the opposite side, what you are having here, similar to the previous one, you have 43 peak M by Z, and this radical that we have seen in the last one. So here also the 43 will be quite prominent, and it can be definitely opposite also. I mean, the fragmentation it can generate this propyl radical and this acylia cation. Okay, so this 101 peak you can also expect. Now McLafferty, this one will be projecting the 116 peak. So this peak you will expect from McLafferty. Okay, this radical cation. This route is quite facile because you have elimination of ethylene gas. Now, besides that, you have McLafferty in the opposite side. Okay, so here you look at, if you count from here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you have hydrogen 6, right? So this side McLafferty can also happen. And you look at here, this radical is taking the hydrogen, so you have a radical here. So that radical, okay, you have double bond O, so this can break and you have the generation of this this radical cation. So this one is 56, that peak is expected. Okay, so that peak also can be seen because this is going via McLafferty route followed by inductive cleavage. What can happen is, if you consider the electron ejection from okay, so what can happen here also, you have plus charge here, so dot, this can be stabilized, this is going like this way, so it can have positive charge now on this oxygen. And if you have positive charge now, it can undergo hydride transfer of mechanism from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this 5 position you have hydrogen. So this can be transferred here. That makes a cation here. So this will break down and you have another form, which is this one. Okay, so that means you have 89 peak of this cation is expected also. So these are the different routes of fragmentation. You can see now what will be the mass spectrum, how it will look like. So here 116 peak is observed, and that peak is this one. You look at the peak of 144, the molecular ion peak is not shown. Okay, so that means it's very, very difficult to detect is undergoing faster cleavage of the molecular ion. You have the 101 peak, you have 89, so this is 89. You have 71, 71 is this one. These are the peaks you can find out. Uh, so you have 56 also here, this is 56. You have 43, okay, so 43, this is 56. So these are the peaks you can find out for this one. The only thing is that what you have to do, you have to be familiar with these different types of fragmentations, and that you have to practice, okay, to find out what could be your expected peaks in the mass spectrum for a particular compound. Now we look at a molecule which is much bigger. Here you look at this one, the huge chain, okay. This is benzyl ester. This benzyl ester. Now for this one, how the fragmentation will happen, okay. So benzyl ester undergo rearrangement to eliminate a neutral ketene molecule, okay. So benzyl ester, they generally undergo rearrangement to generate a ketene molecule, okay. Ketene, can anybody tell what is ketene? Can you tell what is ketene? What will be the structure? What type of bonds you have in ketene? Quickly.
Access to C on C. So
Ketene will be C double bond C double bond O. Okay. So this environment will be there. Ketene. Now that you will be observing that ketene molecule will be coming out for most of the benzyl ester. Okay, benzyl ester. This is you have to remember. The radical cation of benzyl alcohol will be produced. So by elimination of the ketene, you will have the benzyl alcohol radical cation generation, and that has molecular ion peak, or that has the peak will be m by J to be 108. So inductive cleavage may produce a highly stabilized benzyl cation, a tropylium cation, which will have the molecular the m by J to be 91. So this 91 and 108 peak is expected for benzyl ester. Okay, benzyl ester. That is important. So this molecule, it will undergo bombardment to produce this radical cation. Now this radical cation, it will undergo fragmentation. So look at here, you have hydrogen. Okay. So what can happen is, you can think like this way. You have here lone pair, it is taking, this is undergoing, this is coming back. Okay. So that means you have fragmentation at this side, this bond. Okay. And you have here double bond formation, so it is ketene. So this ketene is forming, and you have benzyl alcohol. Okay. And overall you will have dot plus, so this dot plus. So this is 108. This rearrangement occurs for benzyl alcohol, I mean benzyl ester. I mean, when it is bombarded only, don't think like regular way it will happen. So regular, you don't consider like you have this one, this will take, this will happen. It is not like normal molecule undergo cleavage in this way. No, it is only happen if your molecule is losing one electron, okay, and that molecule is reactive now. So it will undergo some stabilization process, and that stabilization will happen by bond cleavage. Okay, so that's why you're observing this one. Now you can have alpha cleavage, not alpha cleavage in that sense. So you have this the stable radical cation it can generate. So you can have a cleavage here, you can have a radical here, you can have a cation here. Okay, that can happen 199, but this 199 will be not that much stable, bigger, and it will undergo further fragmentation to produce smaller fragmented ions. But this route happens because you have a highly stable benzyl radical. That's why it is undergoing this process. So you may observe 199 peak, a tiny peak. Now, what you observe here is just the opposite cleavage. You have the benzyl cation and this radical. Okay, so this radical is stabilized, this cation is highly stabilized. Okay, so that's why 91 peak you'll be expecting as the major peak. Okay, so look at the mass spectrum. So here you have 290 is the molecular ion peak. Okay, 290 tiny. You have 199 peak, 108 and 91. So 91 peak will be the major peak. Any benzyl ester that will produce the 91 peak will be the major peak. So now we look at the ester where you have the hydroxy functionality also. So in this case, what we'll see, molecule will undergo the electron bombardment, which will produce this radical cation. And now this one is you have 194 molecular ion peak. So you have hydrogen here now. You look at, so it can undergo a 6-membered cyclic transition state for cleavage. Okay, so in this case, what you can think like it is falling here, you have ketene type of intermediate. Okay, so it is taking the hydrogen, the alcohol is coming out, it's producing this cyclic. I mean, actually, it will not be here. After breaking, it will be there. So it will not be here. Okay, it's after cleavage. So what you see here is you'll have this one and this. Here it will not be considered. Okay? So you have hydrogen, alcoholic group, and now you will have here. Okay? So this will be like this. So you have ketene, you have this free alcohol. Now this 120 peak you will be expecting because you have this dot plus. You can have another type of cleavage here. If you look at from this side, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. You have 5 hydrogen 6. So this place, this side, you will have McLafferty rearrangement. Okay, so that will be producing this hydroxy means carboxylic acid and this liberation of propylene. Okay, 2-propylene as the neutral molecule. So 138 peak you will be expecting. Okay. So molecular ion peak you have here 194, you have 138, you have 120. Okay, so here what we are observing, 120 peak is the major one. So it's difficult to tell why 120 will be the major one and why not 138. But this experimentally we find like this one. It will undergo the process to produce this one. What I expect is that maybe 138 can further undergo bond cleavage. You have carboxylic acid, so maybe decarboxylation can also happen here. That's why it will be further, and I mean, the peak will be smaller. Okay, that may be the process. Whereas this one, the fragmentation will be further a bit difficult, maybe. That's why we can expect 120 will be the major one. You have another molecule here. If you look at the just methyl ester, methyl benzoate. Now, previously it was not benzoate; it was benzoyl ester, right? A benzyl ester. Here it is ester of benzoic acid, methyl benzoate. So you don't think that way it will happen. So here what you see is that first bombardment will produce this dot plus molecular ion, and this molecular ion can undergo alpha cleavage to produce this 105 peak. So your cleavage is happening from here. So you have dot here plus here, so that is producing 105. That peak is stable one because you have lone pair here, so it will be stabilized. So you have this one. And previously you have seen when you have this one, it has a tendency, it can also further undergo bond cleavage to produce this cation via carbon monoxide release. Okay. So that is happening 77 you will be expecting. Okay, so carbon monoxide is coming out here. You have 77. You have 77 peak here. You have 105. Now this is the difference what we find from the aldehyde keto and the ester, benzoyl ester. So if you have benzaldehyde or keto, okay, acetophenol, that type of molecule, there also you will find like alpha cleavage to produce this, right? So aldehyde keto, what we observe is that 77 peak was the base peak, and ester you have 105 is the base peak. Okay, for ester this CO cleavage is happening, but before that you have majority of the this molecule is undergoing, I mean this is reaching to the detector. Okay. What could be the probable reason is that for keto or aldehyde, you are breaking the CC bond or CH bond, which needs more energy, and maybe you have during that process more kinetic energy is transferred, and that further helps for this fragmentation more. So what I was telling there is for aldehyde or ester, I mean aldehyde or keto, maybe the fragmentation process involves more kinetic energy transfer, and that helps for further fragmentation of this 105 peak more easily, okay, more rapidly. And that's why you may, I mean, we are observing the 77 peak of this phenyl cation as the base peak there. For ester, your fragmentation is much easier than the aldehyde or keto. So that's why it involves less transfer of kinetic energy, and which though help for the fragmentation of this 105 species, okay, this compound, this acylium cation, but that route is a bit slower. By that time, 105 species is reaching to the detector maximum amount. So that's why 77 a bit low height here, and 105 is major one. So this is a bit confusing, but this one is a clear distinction between the aldehyde and keto. I mean the aldehyde keto with respect to the ester. So this one you have to note down. Okay. Okay. So what we have now, suppose you are given two molecules here. This is propyl ester, and this one is methyl ester. Okay. But both of them you have same molecular weight, 102. The question is it possible to distinguish them from their mass spectrum? So can you try this one and tell me what are the peaks you are expecting here? What are the peaks you are expecting here? So this one I have discussed already. This one you need to do. So can you just quickly take few minutes and try to look at what could be the probable fragmentation routes, and what will be the base peak and what will be the other peaks. So I'm giving like maybe 3 minutes, and then you just quickly try and tell me. So remember, you have different route of fragmentations, alpha cleavage, you have inductive cleavage, you have McLafferty if possible. All these you have to consider and find out. So try this one. Anybody has any answer for compound 1? So this one you consider the compound 1, okay? And this one you consider compound 2. Do you have any answer? Anyone want to tell anything? So is it possible to distinguish them? Both are having the same molecular weight. Both are ester. So what will be the answer? No, don't have any answer? Quickly, at least one of you should speak out.
Is
You tell me compound 1, what will be the
detail.
different peaks for compound 1? M by Z, you tell me. What are the expected M by Z for compound 1? Okay, so this you have to do by yourself. And take as assignment for the next, before the next class you have to submit it, okay? So your question you note down and solve this, and then you have to submit, okay? Before the,
Yes, sir.
not tomorrow, next week I'm talking about, okay? So you do take time because it is exam time. I'm not giving too much pressure here. So you get relaxed and do this one nicely, and project the expected mass spectrum and its sir, I am so this one you solve it, and then you show me, okay? So here you just collect the answer, and then you, as usual, you submit it to me, okay? If you have any queries for the previous discussion, you can ask. We can just have a short discussion on that, and then we'll stop here. So in exam, actually, you'll be finding this type of questions. Okay, so I'll give 2 molecules, and I'll maybe ask you how to differentiate. Okay, or sometimes I may ask what will be the base peak. Sometimes I may ask what, compare the molecular ion peak. Okay, that type of thing will be there. I may ask also, show the McLafferty route for this particular molecule, and predict the probable ions. So that type of questions you can expect. Okay then, so thank you for attending today's class. We'll meet again tomorrow at the same time. I'm stopping here.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.